Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys hear a bit of noise, it's because today I am filming during the day. It is currently 5:25 in Milan, Italy. If you've never seen me before, my name is Ellie and I am a medical student in Milan, Italy. Yeah, so I don't know what kind of video this is. I'm not even sure if I will end up posting it, but I feel really inclined to make it, so here we go. Yeah, also you guys, I just curled my hair with some perm rolls. I'm so happy. I think it looks cute. I feel like I'm giving you guys Caesar vibes. I got the lace leg, guys. You see my video, my wig was really a struggle wig, but back to the point. Yeah, so I didn't really know the direction. I thought I knew the direction that I wanted to take my channel in, but over the past few days, I told you guys in my get to know me vlog that I am an overthinker. So I've been thinking a lot about the direction that I wanted to take this channel in, and as you can see today, we're not using a notebook, which is an achievement for us, but which also, I think it also serves to show that I'm really speaking from the heart, and I wanted this channel essentially to be a place where I could be authentic and myself. So here goes. This video is probably going to be titled I have no relationship with my mom. Yeah. And growing up, it's true, I don't actually have a relationship with my mom, and growing up I grew up in what I know now to be a somewhat abusive household. My mother is extremely emotionally manipulative, and it affected me a lot as a child. I never really had many friends. Up to now, I have very few friends. I'm not very good at forming relationships, and I find that maintaining a relationship takes so much energy from me. But aside from that, because of the type of kid that I was, I sought refuge in the internet. Yeah. And I don't know if the internet shaped my personality, because I know personality is it's a result of a combination of how your genes affect you and your environment affects you too. But in my case, I happened to be extremely introverted, so naturally I was very comfortable on the internet, and I remember I still watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I remember growing up there weren't really many. Okay, if they are there, I don't know about them, but like I don't know about, I'm Ugandan, if I forgot to tell you guys, come from East Africa, and growing up there were not very many safe spaces for girls like me who grew up in toxic homes. I don't even know why I'm doing the air quotes. Like, guys, I have so much drama. Like, you know, baby steps, and that's kind of like the direction that I want my channel to take. I would like this channel just to be super authentic, and along with like the Italian vlogs and the medical school advice and all that other good stuff, I also want to create a platform where girls who like me grew up in homes where they had no one to confide in, or where if they did confide in someone, it usually backfired. I just want to be, now that I'm older, I would like to provide that space for African girls like me, because things like mental health and toxicity are are not really commonly spoken about in most African communities. I'm not sure about like all of Africa, because Africa is so wide and diverse. Like there's no such thing as African culture. Like there's so many ethnic groups. You simply cannot group us into one box. But because I spent a lot of time on the internet, I feel like I have parasocially interacted with a lot of people. I don't know if that's the right way to use that word. And I feel like I have a little bit of experience. So when I say this is an African issue, our cultures really advocate for silence, and they also advocate for this unrelenting, never to be questioned love and devotion to your parents. Your parents are never wrong, they can never go wrong. The child should always be submissive, the child should always listen, and there's nothing wrong with having a respectful relationship with your parents. That's ultimately the ideal, to have a respectful, loving, safe environment with your parents. But because I think of the communal nature of most African cultures, there's this tendency to put community before individuals. And what has happened is that we have glorified the acceptance of community to the extent that we do not take enough time to appreciate the experiences of the individuals. So things like mental health, like we know about them, we talk about them vaguely, very superficially, but no one really goes into detail. There are very few genuine actual support groups for people who are dealing with toxicity, people who need mental health help. For example, in Uganda, I think I know of maybe 2 places that support kids with mental health problems, and I think it's starting to show, because while our generation, I'm 21, so Generation Z, I think, while our generation has more access to the internet and therefore more access to information, we are more aware of these things. And I feel like we are more aware because we're more educated about certain issues, that we are starting to notice that the status quo is not okay. And that's something that I developed as a child early, because I spent so much time on the internet. I was always reading. My brain loves to absorb facts. I'm like a sponge, especially useless ones, but I soak up information like a sponge. And I feel like that helped me a lot in recognizing some of the red signs in the environment that I grew up in. And yeah, as I've grown up, I've become more aware. It's made me sad because I feel like there's so much I've missed on. Like growing up, I thought that the relationship which I had with my mom was normal. I won't say I thought that it was completely normal. I feel like at around 6, I started noticing that things were not okay, because I don't know, I would tell my friends some of the things. I was a really talkative kid. Like from the get-go. I did that. I overshare. I overshare so much, and it's ironic because as an introvert, most of us tend to withhold information. But I think because of the traumatic environment that I grew up in, I overshared because I didn't know what else to do. I thought by reaching out, oh god, I should have had a box of tissues nearby. Since the waterworks. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to try to keep my composure because I spent an hour doing my makeup, and I don't know if it looks pretty. I think it looks pretty, so yeah, I don't want to ruin it. But you know, if it happens, it happens. Anyway, yeah, as a child, I tended to overshare because I felt the need subconsciously to talk about these things and to share the experiences that I had. And I remember the first memory I have clearly of me trying to reach out to someone to talk to them about what I was experiencing. I think I was in P3 in the Ugandan education system, and that's about, let me see, how old are you in P3? You're 5 in P1, 6 in P2. P3 you're supposed to be 7, but I was a year younger than everyone, so I was around 6, 6ish, 7ish, I think maybe P4. I was talking, I went to boarding school, and we had these ladies in charge of taking care of the children who used to stay during the school term at facilities that school provided, and we called them matrons. So I remember talking to my matron, sharing with her some of the things that I had experienced. And the first thing, my matron was she was a Baganda lady, and just to give you a little bit of insight, the Baganda are one of the largest tribes in Uganda, and they are very traditional. And there's in the Buganda culture, there's a lot of emphasis, like most other Ugandan cultures, there's a lot of emphasis on you keep your home problems. I'm trying to translate it from Luganda. I'm not good at Luganda. I'm Langi, so I'm not very good at Luganda. But essentially, you keep your home problems at home. Yeah, you don't take the problems in the homestead and spread them on the street. So essentially, that was the thing that she did. She chastised me, and she actually called my parents and told them that, oh, your daughter is actually talking about the things that are happening to her at home. And my mom, I remember the first thing she did was she scolded me, and she told me, oh, you're not supposed to speak things. And that's something that that has been like a pattern throughout my entire childhood. Like there was always this pressure to keep quiet, keep things at home. And as I did more research, I realized that this is actually, I hope I'm not drive-by diagnosing, because I'm in medical school. I recognize that you cannot make it, and you can't make a diagnosis without like having an actual session to diagnose them. So when you diagnose someone without having prior information, relevant information, I think it has been coined the term drive-by diagnosis. So I'm not trying to drive-by diagnosis. I'm just speaking on my experiences. I'm not a professional. I'm just speaking from my research. This is another thing that's really common in abusive relationships. The abuser tends to encourage the abusee to keep silent, to not share, because when you share, you risk exposing the abuser. And please, if you know who I really am, because I use a false name, obviously, because I want to be able to say things on my platform that I have had pent up for so long, and actually very few, I think only 2 of my friends know about this channel. So I assume that the majority of you are strangers. If by some reason you know my true identity, please don't go putting my name in the comment section, because I'm not trying to get retribution for my parents. Like, I don't blame them, because like I said, I think in my first vid, in my vlog, societal problems, individual problems are never the problem of an individual. Like, problems in society are never the fault of one person. It's usually a societal thing. So yeah, I started to recognize slowly by slowly that things weren't okay. And as I grew up, I became more aware, because I was one of those kids who spent so much time reading on the internet. I was a little bit more knowledgeable, in my opinion, of certain things. Always been a nerd, always will be a nerd. And sometimes when I would, like, even as I grew, I would try to share things with people. And I remember one time in S5, we were at our dormitories. S5, you're about 17. I think I was 16 at that time. Yeah. And we were talking about our experiences with our moms, and how they had this tendency to like talk down on the firstborn children, and how like there was a lot of favoritism in our families. And it was just me and a couple of friends, and we were just bouncing ideas off each other, sharing our experiences. And yeah, I started to realize that, you know, what I'm experiencing might actually be real. Like, this might be like a genuine, real problem that people are facing. And so it's taken a lot of courage for me to first of all admit that this situation that I grew up in was not ideal. That like you go through like this entire mourning process where you have to reconcile with yourself that I didn't get like what I was supposed to get. Like this is not how it should have been. Yeah, and it's really, I'm still on the journey. I'm not fine now, but I'm not as bad as, like, I'm not at one of my lowest points. I've been much lower. Maybe if you guys want a story time and I feel comfortable enough, I'll tell you guys. But yeah, I don't know, like at this point, like I'm just trying to go forward. Like I really want to learn, I want to grow, and so yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that this is going to be a recurrent theme probably throughout my channel. We're going to get, you know, vulnerable and dirty and real, because I want to give girls the chance that I never had growing up. I know it's a big responsibility, and I recognize that. Oh god, the tears are coming. Try not to cry. Oh, this is one of the little girls who I teach English. It's her handband. I shouldn't be holding it just in case they watch this video. Unlikely, but still. I tend to fiddle with things. It helps me concentrate. So yeah. I just wanted to let you guys know that, yeah, this is our safe space, and it's not limited to girls. I know there are boys who grew up with toxic fathers. I know both genders of parents. Every gender of parents can be toxic. And I know every gender of child can experience toxicity, and it goes vice versa. So yeah, I think, yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. Here we are raw, we are authentic, we cry sometimes, but we are on a journey to heal, to enjoy Milan, to get through medical school, to do our best to become financially independent, and to do our part in fixing the problems that are present in society, so that the next generation has a better experience. Yeah, so if you stayed to the end of the video, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's hard for me to make this video, but at the same time it feels really right. Like I feel like this is the direction that I need to take on my channel. So yeah, thank you. Subscribe, like the video if it was helpful, and yeah, my DMs are open. But like, don't overwhelm me. But they're open. Bye.